And then doing so I'm what I'm doing here is taking our Zoom meeting and having it linked to YouTube,
Okay.
and then this meeting's gonna broadcast directly onto YouTube. It's what we did last time,
How cool is
but
that?
this is just explaining to you how it works.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't have much control over the image besides what we're working with in
That's
here
all right.
for Zoom. But yeah, we're just doing screen share and everything. So,
You want me to put a link onto the Twitter and Facebook page? I can see it as we, is it live?
not live yet here. Let me
All right,
get
because
this
I'll put the
going.
link up before you go live. I'll put the link up.
Hmm. All right, give me a second here.
This is great. I love it. You're doing this. This is awesome. Wait, if I go to email, I'll get the link off the email when you send it. So, all right. So for people to see this, they don't they don't push the same link you gave me. It's a
No,
different link, right? Yeah. Okay.
no, it's gonna be whatever's generated here.
All right. I'll wait for you to do that.
Google has this authentication process. It kicked me out.
Okay.
It said I didn't have permission to live stream. It's like, what are you talking about?
Seriously.
I have to match the number on the screen and all that. Okay. Let's try this again. I think it's gonna work.
Nice. How cool is that? So what I'll do is I'll get the link out there and then we get rolling.
There we go. We are live.
All right.
So I will get the link here for you.
All right. I'll
Get
look for
this
it.
out to everybody.
Nice. Two
And
spots.
we'll wait as a few people roll in here. All right, I sent it to you in the chat window in
Chat
Zoom.
window. Okay, let me back out of my other one here. Let me see if I can get the chat activated. Chat. There it is. Pop. Okay, good. Oops. Chat. Meet group chat. Got it. And that's the link. Copy link. All right, bear with me. It's up. Copy link, go to Twitter.
We're just finalizing setting up here, everyone.
And
But yeah, we'll be starting in just a second here.
oh my gosh, it didn't even type.
I hope you're all having a great morning this Saturday.
Yes, indeed. So much to go over.
Yeah, we have a lot to go over. So
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah.
we're just getting prepped here, and then we're gonna get right into it.
Paste and go. Okay, so I'll copy that. Copy, post. Applications real quick. Almost there.
All right.
Here we go. Post that. Got it. All right, and then the
Cool. We
face.
got 3 people in here right now, so
Good job.
thanks for tuning in. We're
Yeah,
gonna be getting down to the details here very shortly.
real soon here. Got it. All right. That, and then one more pop. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm going to be right with you. Here we go. Pop it right
So you're
here.
sharing this to Twitter?
Twitter and the Facebook. I'm maxed
Awesome.
on Facebook, so that'll be good to get them out. Not now. And then I'm going to be back to you in 1 second, and I am back to you. Good, we're up. I'm good.
Awesome. And I'm just getting a thumbnail ready here.
There's so much happening. Oh my God. It's like the other side's in complete disarray and panic. And my sources are just like, whoa. It's like if you're looking through their eyes, it's like they're just running around screaming. CNN showed that. CNN is owned by Warner Brothers. And it showed how they're just frantically on set, busting out, especially over the whole Ukraine thing that we talked about. The whole thing with the FBI involved in Ukraine is now coming forward. That's the big push to shut that down. But there's so much right now, so much going on.
And Musk
We're
being
just-
involved with Starlink with the internet over there. And them
Elon
having
Musk,
control over all the communications. Yeah.
exactly, put in place just like Warner Brothers had him put in place to take the work, to take the tech of the work. In 1999, when the Wachowskis are given the story, Elon Musk is given the work. And they bring it forward at the same time, like you pointed out. And it's all coming together. And what's blown me away too, Stephen, as we get rolling, is that if you told me or if someone else told me, when they took the Immortals title, and De Laurentiis copyrights the Immortals title, right? And I was told the Wachowskis just switched the letters around of Immortals to make Matrix, but the X was missing. And now we know that Elon Musk had a hand in it when he was being given the tech. So he gets his stamp on there. So they switch together the title around Immortals to Matrix, and he adds the X. And now they turn Twitter into X. It's like they want to be caught.
Yeah,
Want to be caught.
it's an interesting thing you pointed out the other day. Just exactly that. And
Yes.
once you pointed it out, I'm like, whoa, that's actually
makes sense, doesn't it? So simple-minded, which they are. Trying to be clever. When they're handed property, intellectual property, tech, everything else, Neuralink. And Neuralink was made in the original work not to be made. It was simply for the story, but it was no intention to create it. It's like creating Frankenstein. They didn't write, Mary didn't write Frankenstein, Shelby, to create Frankenstein. She wrote it to propel the story, to story. So the same thing with Neuralink. When I made Neuralink in the story, it's integral to the stories, turning the pages and, completing the story. It was not put there to be made. So they give it to Elon Musk, just like they made the red pill good and the blue pill bad. Red pill based on children is no way supposed to be the good pill, and now they got Sophia Stewart coming forward on her site saying, well, the red is good, the blue is bad. So Warner Brothers calls her out of mothballs to make that claim. But the question for me, Stephen, or for you, Stephen, is why is Sophia Stewart arguing the red is good? She's defending those that she claims stole her work.
Yeah, the whole Sophia Stewart thing is
yourself. Yeah. Anyway, there's some of my spiels right now, and but I'll tell you, this whole thing with Ukraine going on right now, I've been saying it over and over and over again. The FBI and the Pentagon were involved in Ukraine to make it a puppet state. They put an actor in charge of the nation. It's like, and they got rid of Victor Shokum. Sky News Australia, I thought they were good. They did this whole thing about wait till we tell you the country that's going to get catch Biden and bring him down. So I put on the comments on Sky News entry. I said it will be Joe Biden connected to the FBI bringing down Victor Shokum in the Ukraine, and Sky News struck the comment. They struck.
Well, I'm not surprised by that.
And then they're announcing it. So Sky News, it's like Sky News is facing off with CNN owned by Warner Brothers, but it's actually two sides that are one whole, one center. It's like the two sides are actually working for the center. And so I've been calling Sky News out on it, and I said, okay, and I contacted their editors and things, said, look, let's work together here. Let's get the news out and help the people about Ukraine. No, they want to do an entertainment-based agenda thing that works with Warner Brothers. So I just said, okay, I'm just going to post this everywhere. So now we're bringing out about Fitzpatrick, the FBI operative, who was assigned out of Hollywood, lifelong FBI congressman, who's handling my sister with all kinds of rewards. And, she's supposed to bring me down. is the one that does the article saying that he was sent to Ukraine to destroy Viktor Shokem's career with the Bidens. So yeah, it's just, you know, so the news media is still the news media. One egg.
And you're talking about something that started back in 2014, correct?
Yes, that's when this is even better. That's when Brian Fitzpatrick, US Congressman, Pennsylvania, where my sister's being all rewarded every day with him. Lifelong FBI operative out of Wilshire Boulevard's FBI office, Hollywood. You know, assigned to my sister when the case was thrown. So he's the one that's sent over in 2014 under the anti-corruption department or something. It's so stupid. What a title. And Donald Baxter is from Justin Trudeau's crony group, is sent to accompany Brian Fitzpatrick to destroy the career of Viktor Shokem. So they can destabilize the Ukraine in 2014, to take it over, to try to push a war agenda and to tweak Putin's nose, put missiles right in his backyard. That's like putting him in Cuba. Actually, it's like putting him in Florida's island. So what you're doing, Key West, and so what you're doing is putting it right in his nose, trying to make him the bad guy by instigating and pushing Putin. And it's like, and then use your news machine to spiel all the spiel where people are supposed to catch on, like red pill, blue pill. So I'm just like, I'm blown away. I actually saw that thing about, remember Jake, the guy with the horns on at the Capitol? Right, the Trump guy.
Yeah,
Jake.
yeah.
Well, what's so stupid is I see Jake with the organization I was talking to, and he does this thing on some Take News or something. He goes, I have red pilled the entire nation. What the hell? He's saying he's red pilled the entire nation. The very group he's working with was working with me at the time to say that red pill wasn't good. He's using the very words that were programmed, saying that
well,
program.
From what I understand, that guy was not.
He said he's guilty.
I want to say they were coerced. I mean,
he said he's guilty. He said on the program that he's guilty of doing what he did at the Capitol. And I'm not taking a side on this. I'm just saying, what is your point if you're saying you're guilty? Why are we listening to you if you're saying you're guilty? You slap horns on your head, you go to the Capitol, you stand up there, you said you were wrong for wearing the fur and stuff, but yet it signals how our public is, that became popular.
So how is this connected to Fitzpatrick?
Because it's the whole thing I'm saying about the red pill, blue pill, that they're snowing people into.
Oh, and he's using the language of the pills.
Yeah, they're using this language, saying they just freed the nation. They just red pilled the nation. Oh God, even I'll tell you, they're just so twisted. And it's like they don't want to be freed. It's like if you went back to that scene with Morpheus, I send you a picture of. It's like you go back to that scene and it's like everybody's taking what the Hollywood elite tells them to take. Not everybody. There are some amazing people that are waking up and saying they are blue pilled now. And that very phrase is freaking out CNN, the elite, Disney. Anybody says they're blue pilled now is saying the work was taken. You know, we don't believe your trick anymore. The pill is based on the blood of the children, the red pill. We know that now. The Wachowskis switched it when they got the work. We're not going to listen to the lead anymore. Meanwhile, Horn guy, Jake, is saying he's red pill. Maybe it's a fair mistake, but time to get over it. Yeah. Anyway, that's my feeling.
So I have a few comments here in the chat. So we have user Manduro from Germany. He says 7 p.m. over by him.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's watched a ton of sci-fi movies to compare and relate to your script. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for doing that. And
yes,
I mean, it's a collective effort looking for all of these drops, so to speak.
Exactly.
That they've done. We also have a user AM. And they said, good morning. I recently found Tom online and have become a huge fan. Great channel too. And thank you, AM. And then AM asks, what is the red pill representing?
Very good question. I love the question.
And she also follows up, does this have to do with Satanism?
Yes, it does. Do I have a way of turning the chat on so I can respect and honor those that are making the
Yeah,
comment?
if you want a split screen,
I have my chat on, but I don't see any I don't see the comments.
okay.
So,
I'm gonna send
anyway.
you a link of the replay here, or what's
Nope.
of what's being broadcast live.
It should just show up, but I want to honor it as people are talking. But anyway, maybe you can just tell me what's coming through. I just, so people know I don't see the, let me see if I can do that. Maybe that'll open it up. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, that's such a good question. The whole thing. Oh, I see now. I see. Okay, good. That helps. That helps a lot.
Okay.
So the whole thing with the red pill and blue pill. When the work was submitted, what they did was the red pill was switched to the good pill, and the blue pill was made. Let me turn this mic off here 1 second.
Oh yeah, just muted. That's
Okay.
what I have it.
Turn the mute off. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Back on this. Okay, mute. Good. There we go. Okay, finally. Okay, so yeah, thank you for doing this. So the blue pill was the good pill. The red pill was the bad. What you had was in the original work, Neo is forced or coerced by the Smith agent to take the red pill or he dies. His family and his die in the interrogation scene. First scene shot, the first scene I wrote as an author. So that's how it transpires. It's like Neo's shown the red pill, not both. Smith offers the red pill. Morpheus offers the blue pill. See? So originally the red pill is offered by, or told he has to take it. Neo has to take the red pill in the interrogation scene. To enter the program, to be trapped in the program, he has to take the red pill, right? So that's what's happening to people now so often. The blue pill is offered later when Neo is cut from the program in the original work. And he finds Morpheus.
Red pill is used as an entrance, and the blue pill is used as an exit.
Red pill, based on the blood of the children, traps you inside the program. So think of people saying the red pill. They didn't know better, I guess. The blue pill, when Neo is cut from the program, he ends up in underground. They offer him a bootleg pill, a blue pill, so Neo can re-enter the program to take down the machines. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not this Alice in Wonderland, which is what Wachowski's change it to in their small brain way. They change it to this in order, as they're making up as they go along, they thought that'd be a cool way to present the image, but it doesn't serve the story. It confuses everything. Why would Morpheus offer a blue pill with a red pill? He hasn't really told Neo anything. No one's going to believe him anyway. Why? If he chooses not to take the red pill, you don't need a blue pill. Just, you didn't take the red pill, right?
Yeah, can I share my thoughts with you right now?
Please.
What I think the script that they gave to the actors on the first set was. Okay, so I think they had your script. They used half of it for the first one.
Second half is really what they used. Right.
So they used the second half of the script.
Right.
Okay. So there's a lot of stuff and themes that are in their film that isn't in your script, but they threw it in there, like the Alice in Wonderland stuff.
As they made up as they went along.
This includes characters, and they also made characters based off your concepts, like with the ghost. They did ghost twins, but you had it as a like, almost like a security system.
Yeah, it's a ghost program, right?
Yeah. So, why am I bringing this up?
Well, we were talking about the red pill, blue pill, and what it actually means. The question was, and is it blood based on the blood Satan and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
What Hollywood did was take the red pill and come back when you cut in with what you get. The red pill is taken and made the good pill. Once again, let's breeze over. Let's sum up, and then we'll hit the point about Satanism and blood of children. Red pill is offered by Smith in the original work. In the interrogation scene, you take it or you and your family die. That's basically how it works. It's kind of how they do it. The agencies do it today. You're offered, and if you don't take it, you're punished. The blue pill was never offered by Smith. Doesn't make any sense to have that Alice in Wonderland thing, eat me, drink me. So the blue pill is offered after Neo is cut from the program because they need Neo back in the program to defeat it. So the blue pill is the bootleg pill, not based on the blood of the children, right? To create it, which is it has painful side effects. It's not perfected. And to take that is a real courage to take that pill.
Okay.
And so, and you age slowly and you enter the program to defeat everybody. So the blue pill is the underground's pill, the good pill. The red pill is the bad pill based on the blood of the children to trap you in the program.
I guess what I was trying to convey here is your scenes with the pills didn't have like the seating of Morpheus with his hands out in this like darkly lit room and everything.
No.
Correct? It's like a
Well,
completely different scenario in a way.
The blue one. So the blue one is offered in a private setting.
In private setting, okay.
Yeah, so get this. Smith offers the red pill. Morpheus offers the blue pill later.
Okay.
Morpheus offers the blue pill to allow Neo, who's been cut from the program, to re-enter the program for Underground's purposes. Make sense?
So instead of using the red pill, they used that that little like shrimp device they put into his stomach through his belly button.
That's the bugging device that's also used in the interrogation scene. I'm glad you're asking. And please, anybody that wants to ask too, I wish I could call in too and ask questions. I'd love to just talk to their voices too, people directly.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
You can have them call in, that'd be great. I'd love to talk to some of these people and just hear their voice, acknowledge who they are, and as the author, answer their questions straight up without any scripting or anything like that. There's nothing going on like the other side accuses us of. But so yeah, the bugging device is applied to Neo instead of a spidery thing that's real big. Remember the Wachowskis, when they lifted, are overblowing everything. They want to be clever. They don't understand the work. They mocked it on set, right? And so it's just to save their career. So they're just mocking the author while they do it. It's actually been noted. But so what you have is the blue pill, a red pill is the only thing that Neo is offered to join the program, the Immortal program, based on the blood of the children for that program. And he's bugged at the same time with a different device, the Neuralink. The Neuralink is what Neo is bugged with at the interrogation scene. And so you have that thing in the back of the neck. It looks like a mole at first, precursor to the Neuralink, is what he's given, and it tracks him. It also puts him into the program with the blue pill. So it's a great question. Blue pill and tracking device are applied at the same time. I'm sorry, red pill and the tracking device are applied at the same time by the Smith agent on Neo in the beginning of all this. First scene they shot, first scene I wrote. The blue pill is given later, and get this, it's such a great question you asked. The Neuralink is removed when he's given the blue pill. When he's in the underground, they have to remove the Neuralink, Neo's Neuralink, because he's been diseased, tracking disease, and tracks it to underground by the architect's plan. That's why I allowed Neo to keep living. Stay with me, there's layers. So that's removed, and he's given and adapted to Smith's Neuralink, so he can use Smith's memories to, when he goes back in with the blue pill, to enter into the Matrix, to have Smith's memories while he dismantles it or destroys it. See what I'm saying? So that's how he gets in the cortex building, by using Smith's memories. But he's also feeling everything Smith felt and starting to blend with Smith, where he's gotten rid of his own memories and a necessity to use Smith's memories, and it's affecting how he feels and operates when he's around Trinity. Now you can see how it gets much more juicy and much more layers. Because think of it, if you're feeling the memories, and that's all you have left, the memories of the person who harmed your family, murdered your family, has been out to kill you, and you're feeling what he feels when he did it, when you live that memory, you're feeling what he feels whenever you're accessing any memories, and you don't have yours anymore. See how the stakes go up, and how it's just like, oh my God, what would I do? But he finds the dome, yes, the dome, and the cortex building, how to enter it through the seamless like corridors. It's in there through using Smith's memories. In mine, in the original, he actually turns on Trinity, because the lust of Smith and everything he's feeling suddenly takes over, and he actually assaults Trinity. She knows it's not really Neo. She rips the Smith Neuralink out of Neo, and Neo becomes just ragdoll, because she, and then she sacrifices herself, and it was pointed out to me by Hollywood people. That is the first femme nikita, or femme fatale. You see the scene where, in Game of Thrones, where the one elf is in the cave with a tree of knowledge or whatever, memories, and she's like, she takes the grenade, whatever, the blue grenade thing, and all the orc-like creatures dead start crawling on her, and she lets it go, and she's like, that scene is being ripped off from the original work, where Trinity does the very thing. The Trinity character in here allows the agents at the room of monitors, sound familiar, to pile onto her, and then she bites down on the capsule that disintegrates them all in a blue electric kind of lightning thing that makes them all dissolve. She sacrifices herself for Neo, who had just assaulted her because he's living his memories, and she pulls it out. So now Neo at that point has to find the dome with only what he gleaned without any Neuralink. So I hope this makes sense. It's much more complicated than Wachowskis didn't understand it. That's why they're mocking the work and put that first entry where they had my high school birthday, my dad's name, my fiance's birthday, all that in the first graphic, TA 4099. That's why they put this in here, to mock the original author in that interrogation scene, first scene we wrote, first scene they shot, because they don't understand the work and they want to be cleverer than the original author. They hate me. So that's why does that make sense? And I wish we could talk to the audience too, because I want to hear what they have. Any questions? I'd love to answer their questions, but yeah.
Yeah, I just added the link for people to join the Zoom meeting if they'd like to.
Oh, good. I would love to have people pop on and ask questions, especially if you get it in our blue now instead of red. Red, just think of the joke they did. They actually want people to say they're red pilled. They really do. Can I share a screenshot real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I want to show the thing that I just made up this morning to illustrate what their agenda, what they're trying to do. Can I share it?
Yeah,
let me go to the screen.
It should be ready to go.
You got it. You're good. Okay, let me go to my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so here's that iconic shot, right? And what I've got to do is I want to read it to you, even though you can see it. This is what I want to explain as the original author that holds the copyright. Keep in mind, we hold the copyright for the Immortals, right? And Dino Laurentiis, who wine and dine the Wachowskis, copyrights the Immortals title, not Matrix. Let that sink in. Dino Laurentiis, who wine and dine the Wachowskis, is on Assassins with Wachowskis, copyrights the Immortals title, not Matrix. And so what I now know is that the Immortals title, what happened was Elon Musk in 1999 was given the tech Neuralink to make him rich and was groomed by Warner Brothers. That's why he appears in Iron Man 2, sitting at a table without lines, just there to be shown. That's the grooming. And the Wachowskis are given the story and all the visual images. So in 1999, Elon Musk gets the tech handed to him to steal the work, and the story is stripped out in images to Wachowskis, right? And that's why you now see the Immortals title, and I've been informed, the Immortals title, which Dino Laurentiis copyrights, is the letters are switched around by the Wachowskis to make Matrix. But what's missing when you switch all those letters? All those letters are there for Matrix except one, X. Elon Musk wanted X added, and now he's trying to get away with the crime. He's named Twitter X. So when he took this work, he switched the letters around and made Matrix X, Matrix. Isn't that something? It's like they want to get caught. And so if you look at this, it says you take the red pill and say you are red pilled. You spread what the Hollywood elite want you to, based on ingesting the blood of the children. Hidden in plain sight, they enjoy every time they do. And they do. They do. You take the blue pill, you scare the trash out of them, as it means you are catching on to their pedophile blood harvesting agenda, which makes the Immortal program. And you are not as dumb as they claim you are. Blue is the good pill.
Yeah, we have more comments if you'd like to hear, or you could see them, right?
I got to get back to that screen, but go ahead.
Okay. Mart Ladd says, great work, both. Only just discovered Tom within the last 48 hours. Thank you. Wow. You can thank the rather unconvincing Sophia Stewart for that. Cheers.
Thank you. Well, that's the funny thing. I'm glad you pointed it out. You point that out, Mark, because Sophia Stewart actually was told by Warner Brothers. I got insiders to put on her own site, and you showed me this. On her own site, she puts the red pill is good, the blue is bad, and that's what we're just saying. Why would Sophia Stewart say the red pill is good if she's not told to by Warner Brothers? Because what she's actually saying is the people that she claims stole her work get it right and are good and this kind of thing. No, I'm saying the people that took my work and Sophia Stewart's supposed to claim got it wrong. The blue was good, the red is bad. They reversed it on purpose when they stole the work.
Yeah, her Twitter's just kind of, I don't know what's going on with that one.
I know.
Having like her friends post phone videos. And
I know. Well, now it's just
she's pushing her book.
Pushing her book.
You look through everything. Buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book.
That's the point. The point is, I'm glad Mark brought this up, is if Sophia Stewart won her case, which she didn't, then why was Matrix 4 made without her? Well, if she claims she has the trademark to Matrix.
All right, I want to settle this real quick. I came across a video that said this guy looked into what Sophia Stewart's court case was that she won. Apparently, she was given a win on a technicality that she was lied to. So not even the fact that she was obligated to be told anything by Warner Brothers, right?
Right.
But because Warner Brothers said that it's not going to so and so country, and it turned out it did go to so and so country. That went into her favor. So it had nothing to do with any source material or anything writing wise.
No, not at all.
It was out of technicality, based on what Warner Brothers told her about distribution.
So that's the other thing. That's the other thing. You're right. The other thing is that we have a 128-page script, tight, and was pitched to Bonaventura, who said it's revolutionary. We're making this. All that submitted through James Boyd of Norfolk in 1993, June 25th. We had a submission letter, tracking number, receipt he sent. Music was sent, everything. George Michael's proof, all that. She has 33 pages that isn't even a screenplay. She didn't even write it. She was too lazy to actually write a screenplay. And that's about Star Wars and the Bible. So how can she say they made a movie off her script when she has 33 pages about Star Wars and the Bible? You know, right? It's like you have to have 128 or 120 some page screenplay. And what's interesting is, I didn't realize this, but before, I submitted a shooting screenplay. I submitted everything. That's why they had trouble stealing it, is because it was a shooting screenplay. So all they could do was make a visual storyboard off of it, right? And so, like I was told by the fight choreographer, this is in one hand, visual storyboard in the other. They make it up as they go along, and they ended up that big debate they announced where everybody said to blow it up to end it because they didn't know how to end it. So they kept the exact same ending you have in here. Diagonal figures facing off, the little girl from the train station, the pulse wave renewing the earth and her to life, and then she comes up and points to the sun, hugging the Oracle, and there they switched it to Oracle. It's actually supposed to be Neo. She hugs Neo and points to the sun, watching the identical figures face off, but they didn't want that. So it's like they switched that, but keep the exact same ending. Isn't that something? I mean, my God, in the future, I'm told, even by the inside, Disney even said on tape, like I said, you've won the chess game. You got the word out, even though they tried to cancel all these interviews and everything else, and hundreds of them. The word's getting out, and smart people are picking it up. Like our gentleman just got it 48 hours ago. Saw it, thanks to Sophia Stewart, he said. So it's like, finally, people are getting it. And even what they're trying to do through Sophia Stewart is backfiring. People are getting it that way.
I've left most of the comments up of people saying, didn't a black woman create the Matrix? Didn't Sophia Stewart create? Just on and on. It's the same. It's like a writing prompt.
It's like a talking point. It's a talking point. They just keep throwing.
It's so repetitive, though. But I just leave it up. And I mean, I could take them all down, but at some point, maybe I will. But right now, it's our TikTok's on 2 strikes. So,
of course, I mean, they're going to go after us really, especially now that we're everything. I mean, everything's coming out now. So it's like,
with you talking about your sons, Kirk and Sean,
right?
And Keanu not being the good person that
No,
the
he's
media
not.
makes him out to be.
No, he
That
is.
was the first video that got struck.
Of course.
The second video that got struck was your well, you're trying to hold your phone up to show the plane flying over where you live.
Oh, right, where they're spraying.
The video that they struck, your phone wasn't working yet, and then you started complaining about AT&T. But you started off the video talking about their spraying poison and all that. So they hit that video.
Of course.
But the video before that has like 11,000 views, and the video after that has, I think, 25,000 views right now.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Can I go
they
back?
missed the mark on that one.
Can I go back to one more thing about Sophia Stewart, since that was raised, and then we can move on with what current events, if you'd like, and what's in the film.
Yeah.
So, I want to show you guys something. Let's go to this. See, I think people need to realize that Sophia Stewart contacts me all the time, as she's assigned to do. She was supposed to be a handler. She was supposed to be a handler of mine. So as soon as this all starts breaking out, she calls me and says, "Is this Tom Althouse? Is this Tom Althouse? You're the missing link. This is Sophia Stewart. Your life is over as you know it. You're famous now. You claim Matrix 2 and 3. I'll claim Matrix 1. You're the missing link." So she was assigned to me to be a handler from inside Warner Brothers, working with the attorney that had the suspended license to throw it. So look what she does. She sends me a friend request. And what's interesting about this friend request, it says here, owner, writer, producer at All Eyes on Me Incorporated, studied at University of Southern California. So here's a friend request from Sophia Stewart to the man she's supposed to handle, original author. And keep in mind, she blew a gasket when the inserted material was made known to me by the insider at Warner Brothers. She lost it. So she started saying, "You're on set, you were on set, you were, no, this was told to me." And it was actually entered upside down like this in the shot, split second upside down. So when this was revealed to me about my high school fiance's birthday, all that stuff, she lost it. She lost it. She was no longer needed by Warner Brothers, right? No longer needed. She failed. And that's why also that Kate Chilton letter is so important, where she's wanting her money for the period of 2009 to 2014, when she lost in 2005. 2009 to 2014, when I was handled by her, she's asking for $5 to $7 million from Warner Brothers. Kate Chilton, who was also involved in my situation. So she's wanting to collect her money for handling the original writer. So, but look at this. So she sends me a friend request while she posts this. "Try and use reverse psychology on me so I can help you and your publicity-seeking friend," to one of her second people that was actually contacting me. "Thomas is not seeking justice, just pure ego and publicity. No thanks." So the owner, writer, and producer of All Eyes on Me Incorporated is saying that I'm just pure ego and publicity. Let that sink in. So you'll never accomplish. He's just a footnote, nothing else. You tuned up with a loser from a cult. So Sophia Stewart writes that when she's sending me a friend request, right? And so I was saying that the real mother of the Matrix is my mom. She's descended from Swiss royalty. And that's the real mother of the Matrix right there. Patricia Althouse, not Sophia Stewart. That is not the mother of the work. So here's the real mother of the work, right? So I just think that's kind of cool to just point out that Sophia Stewart definitely was agenda ridden, supplied by the other side to throw the original author off the trail and make sure that Warner Brothers gets away with it and Wachowskis get away with it. She's working with the Wachowskis. And it's supposed to be-
I believe I heard about that right when it, right when Sophia Stewart hit mass media. Like, I remember hearing about it because I was involved with watching The Matrix and keeping up with all that stuff.
Right.
And then she just kind of faded away.
Well, she's
So
not
apparently
important anymore. She's not viable. When that Kate Chilton letter comes out and says the period of 2020, because her associate writes it and Sophia Stewart's on it saying, "We want our money. We want our $5 to $7 million," right? And Kate Chilton says, "You're not needed anymore. Basically, you're not needed. We've already destroyed Tom. The case is destroyed. We got an insider who was a defense attorney, went to the same, University of Berkeley with their attorney, and was suspended license, ineligible to practice law, threw the case by saying, you know, they're going to allow the opposition, Warner Brothers, to proceed to summary judgment without objection after he's fired within half an hour. So Sophia Stewart wasn't needed anymore, so they're cutting her off. And Mandura has a question: have you ever tried bigger outlets to reveal the truth? Yes, and the answer is yes. And we've gone, Steve and I have, you know, done a lot of work, and I've done other outlets like what was his name? Caravan at Midnight. And
John B. Wells.
Red Pill, Michael Yako, Sarah Westall. Sarah Westall has me back on this month on the 17th, Sarah Westall. And so there's a lot of groups, yes. And watch Steven's site rise, because I mean, I'm saying he's like the Morpheus. Steven's like the Morpheus. You found me when and stood true. And why did you come on board? Tell people why you actually came on board. I think it's fascinating why you actually pick me out of the dirt.
Well, what was it? The last straw of the hearing the announcement for Matrix 4? Like, that's as far back as I can remember. What were you expecting me to give a different answer?
Well, no, I want to hear what you have to say. I would like to learn, because you said you were a fan of the work. You love the work.
Yeah.
And you realized
all of these, there were so many red flags that I just ignored from the Wachowskis over these years, like the 20-foot rule for the script.
Right.
I remember hearing about that. Like when the films were coming out, I remember hearing about that. There was this website. There was this website called thelastfreecity.org. It was a huge message board where all these fans went on there to go give all these theories and everything and share ideas and stuff. I forget. I don't know. I don't know how long ago, but it got shut down. Okay, but that would have been a great, cool site to really go comb through and see what was on there.
Maybe that's a good thing to do then. Yeah, that'd be a really good move. And
I don't know if Wayback Machine would even have it still. It was
maybe the egos of their side has allowed us to get so much information. They end up bragging all the time. That's the one thing they do. They always brag. They always brag to you. When someone sells out, they brag.
Yeah, so there was a big online community though around this film franchise, and I was sucked into it. Okay, and then what time goes on, I go to film school for college, and then I'm out working I guess 9-to-5 job. And I hear at the end of my shift that the Wachowski sister is, not both of them, just one of them,
right,
is gonna come out and make the 4th movie for the Matrix. And it did not sit well with me. To the point where I actually went live on Facebook and I did this whole, I did a half-hour rant about this.
Good for you. Yeah, why did Andy not go on the project? He was afraid. Larry was the one that kept coming strong to take the work and want to take the work in much popularity as he can.
And I confused their names in my rant video, so
that's all right.
I was really trying to talk to Larry, but I was saying Andy, so just whatever.
Well, I've sent out the message so many times about, let's come on a program, Larry and Andy. Let's talk about what this work means. Let's talk about why all these different images are there and what they mean and how they tie together, and let's do it. They simplify every image they lift. Every image. Now they go on TMZ and mock me with their faces on the TMZ owned by Warner Brothers and go off like you're nothing hacker, but they don't let you have a comment. They don't let you speak to them. They don't let you appear on the air together, yet they come at me publicly. If they come at me publicly, then that means they are acknowledging something. They should just leave it lie if there's nothing there. But one of the things that stands out to me is that 20-foot rule. Like when you said it again, 20-foot rule. Could you imagine being on a film shoot and what they tell you is anybody on the shoot here, if you come within 20 feet, you're fired. Wouldn't you be wondering why you can't come within 20 feet? What's the reason we can't come within 20 feet? Are you germophobic? What is it? It's way before any of these things that were going on circulating where you had to put masks on. So it's like way before that, they're saying 20-foot rule, right? There's got to be a reason. People would be wondering what's the reason. So they're going to find out what the reason is. Oh, they have an original work in hand that we can't see. Okay. That's why there's a 20-foot rule. Do you know the FBI actually put out a paper that Sophia Stewart tried to use that said a screenplay, and they said the title, was used on set to create The Matrix, someone else's work. So what Sophia Stewart did was she blocked out the title and kept the entry from the FBI. The FBI, here's proof. The FBI says that blank it out was used on set to, come on, you bet your boots that if it was, the FBI says the third eye was used on set, that she would show that, but she blanks out the title. I think that's very telling, since the FBI was in stolen work. Again, Sophia Stewart jumps the gun and puts forward, like the Chilton letter. She posts the Chilton letter, right? Saying about the money she wants to get that you're not going to give her. She's not needed anymore. She also wants to show the public that she was offered millions by Warner Brothers for blood money. So the same thing with the FBI document. She posts that, blacks out the name so that she can use it and make people think it's about her work. I can't tell you, how stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? You just posted evidence we can research now. The FBI says the Immortals was used on set. And you talk to any studio, they say it's common knowledge it was used on set, right? Like the Batman stuntman, Quentin, we asked him, can you check with Warner Brothers and see if people know about this theft? He asked around and came back totally blown away. He goes, everybody knows. Everybody, they said they're not supposed to talk about it. They're not supposed to talk about Diane Bellis, who James Boyd submitted to, the submitting attorney in 1993 that was replaced by Teresa Wing, still there to cover it up. So, and facilitated Joel Silver submitting in 94 before the Wachowskis get it in 96, 95. So what you have is this whole trail where Sophia Stewart's blowing the job. She's blowing the job. And when they try to remove her quietly from the scene since she's no longer needed, she's not going to stop, is she? Because she's got that major ego. Just like the Wachowskis put in all the inserted material to mock the author, as I'm told from the inside. But also, it's also something like a fail-safe that if the Wachowskis are revealed, they'll say, look, Warner Bros. Did this. Here's the author's information. Make sense? But yeah, let me look at the comments too with you. So.
Oh yeah, we're going pretty well. We had 14 viewers. It's at 13 right now, but
yeah,
it's
fun.
Well,
that's something surfacing here too. It's very, very important is that the Wachowskis made it up as they went along. They stuck in what they're familiar with as they lift the images off the original work. So when they take every image out of here, Jack's the Neck, Squiddies, even the tanks, scorpion-like tanks at the end, the horizon filled with them, and the sunrise, pointing at the sunrise, all that. As they take all these out, again, they're filling in what they're familiar with. That's why you see people go, well, it got Dark City, it's got Necromancer, it's got, Alice in Wonderland, it's got the Tree Man from Ghost. Yeah, they're all here because they're making up and sticking those things in as they go along. But only the authors who create the Immortals, only those entries are in the first graphic. High school, birthday, his dad's name, fiance's name, all those are in the first graphic. They shot the most important graphic where they say they'll never tell you what everything means. And then the clock face, like we said, filling the screen with 7/2/59, my exact birthday. So that's where Sophia Stewart loses it because she's no longer viable at that point. See, it's proven that no, this author, they used Matrix 1. It's in Matrix 1, all the graphic stuff. So high school and everything, Central West High. So that's why she lost it. She lost it because she's no longer important. She no longer can pass her phoniness off. That's why now she's just promoting her book, really, by and large. And she does whatever Warner Brothers tells her to do. So she goes on and on talking, but she says the red pill is good, the blue pill is bad. Just says that because she's been told she has to say that. So she's still trying to prove she's useful to Warner Brothers, so she might get some more money out of it.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you buried 14 of your scripts.
There's 15, 16 now, 16 now.
16 now.
Yeah.
So you are actively writing?
I have the 16 buried, trash bag.
Or I guess what I should say is when was the last script in that buried
that
pile
series?
written? Yeah.
That was like 3 years ago. But
Okay.
right now, like right when I was going to come down to Texas, when the when the hit was on, the 302 hits and everything, I knew I had to conceal the work because Disney had just asked, about it and wanting to see it and pushing it and everything. So I had to take action.
Yeah.
So no one can find it. There's not even staples in the work. But since I've been here, yes, I've been working on further material and even the sequels. So I have been writing, but as far as those screenplays I talked about, they were buried out of necessity on the timeline of when the biggest threat was happening, getting out of Pennsylvania. So yeah, because I was being raided. So yeah. And told. In fact, Sophia Stewart sent me a message saying that doctors were going to haul me off. Sophia Stewart sent me a message saying doctors are going to haul me off. The FBI is going to send doctors to make sure you're put away. She said that. And they are. They tried the 302 thing. And what are the reasons they're going to haul me off?
So what was this, like 2019, 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 2019, 2020. That's when the real 302 hit. The big one came. And we had to get out.
And when did you start doing these interviews publicly?
They hit me with a 302, the big one with Fitzpatrick and everybody, Brian Fitzpatrick, the lifelong FBI operative and congressman. They hit me with that right before the interview chain started. It was all lined up on the calendar. Like it was loaded. All these people decided they want to do interviews. That's when they hit me with the 302. Right before that, they wanted to shut it down before it happened. Then they started doing things like having Sophia Stewart call me and say, look, your website's struck. Red Pill 78 and Sarah Westall's interviews are struck all the same day, she told me. And that the exec from Warner Bros. Had exited on that same day also. So then she raised her 3 points at that point. 3 points she was supposed to make from Warner Bros. She's a mouthpiece for Warner Bros. And Disney. So she said, you can't make your film, they'll put an injunction on it on that call, right? And keep in mind, as an egotist will, she started the call by saying, do you know who this is? I'm like, no, you sound familiar. She expects everybody to be impressed when she calls you. It's like, no, you're just a schmo. So anyway, then she's like going on, well, you know what? They struck the websites and all this stuff. She doesn't talk very clear. So then she says that you can't make your film, they'll put an injunction on it. So she's naming off 3 things that she's been told to do for Warner Brothers to try to stop the author. She's the mouthpiece. And I said, well, that's great. If they do, they just proved we're right. We win our case. If they're going to stop it, because
how would they know if you even if you wanted to film it on the down wall, like how would they even know? An injunction on the filming essentially means they're putting a stop to it, right? Like
yeah, they're going to put a court order to stop you from releasing your film.
Okay.
Because it has similarities, because it has matchups to Matrix. But the copyright, like again, the copyright on this is 1998 on this version. 1998, so they're shot in 1999. So they're just proving our case. Then she said, you cannot do a court case ever again because the judge ruled with prejudice. It's like, yes, we can, with fraud and everything else, and an unlicensed attorney that was provided by the other side that let us know that, and that you refuse to do discovery or disclosures, and we have it on tape that they're refusing to do it because of the mute point, because they don't have any evidence, no working drafts. You did the Matrix with a 20-foot rule that nobody can see what's in hand, and no working drafts that you had. Yeah. So she didn't like that answer either. She didn't like that answer either, Stephen. And the final one was, she asked me too, how much I was paying hosts to interview me. How much did you get, Stephen, to interview me? I come pretty cheap that way, huh? So 0, right? I know you don't get an Easter egg. You don't even get a jelly bean. But the thing is, thanks for doing it. But her point. So what it says is, if Sophia Stewart's saying, how much are you paying these people to get on the air? That means she must be paying people to get on the air. So it's like, but no, Sarah Westall, Zach from Red Pill, Emma from Imagination Podcast, all these people, they never charged me. They invited me on to get the truth out for original author that has lost his sons and everything else in the process. So she loses that one too. But it's interesting she asked that question, right? So injunction, if you make the film, no, we're going to make it as is. You can't do your case because ruled it prejudice, fraud, and you're even on tape admitting with new evidence that, they're admitting they have no working drafts at all, nothing, and refuse to honor due process. Okay, no problem. And the condition I had at the time too, no statute. And then what was the last one? There was one more she threw at me, and then she just got so upset. It's the first time I heard Sophia Stewart ever become quiet, where she didn't know what to say. So I said, well, thanks for calling. She didn't know what to say anymore. This person that's crass and curses, believe me, if you look online, she just like flies at people, just F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb on people all the time, very uncouth. How could she write anything? Well, she never really wrote a screenplay, right? You know, so I pity people that buy her book, but, you know, unless you're doing research. But yeah, I forget what the last one was, but it didn't hold any water either, and she wasn't happy with the answer. Yeah. But
yeah, and so you mentioned about the Immortals being copywritten back in what year? Like what, mid 90s?
the thing is with copyright, I was even told by a copyright attorney back then, it's if you pitch it or present it through an attorney, and he has a what did James Boyd say? What did he submit? He submitted it through certified mail, right? The script, the story treatment, looking for his actual write-up here. The script, the story treatment, and character breakdown, and everything, certified mail to their department, per Bonaventure's directions. I'm just looking for the material here. Then you have better than a copyright. The Copyright Office establishes the date of creation. If you submit certified mail through an attorney to their story department, that's better than a copyright. I read Writer's Guild too. Yeah.
I think the important thing here for the audience to remember is that the Wachowskis were greenlit by Warner Brothers to go ahead with this project based on what the drawings of every like 600-page drawings.
Storyboard. That's right.
So they didn't get greenlit because of the script itself.
No, there was no.
The cinematographer, Bill Pope, even said that he read the first 40, 50 pages and then he got lost after that. But the first 40, 50 pages were the best pages he's ever read in his life, apparently.
Which was the Immortals.
Yeah, yeah.
So, right, the Immortals. And that's what they were saying. That's why the suit sat down with the Wachowskis initially. And there's an article where Joel Silver's with Wachowskis to try to have the Joel Silver's trying to get the Wachowskis to get the work. Remember in 1995, they said they hoped to give them the science project after they failed as writers, right? So Joel Silver's at the table. The Wachowskis can't explain it. So Larry gets up and leaves. He has a habit of leaving, like he did on the set in 2003, where he went to San Francisco to be with his dominatrix. Wasn't even there on the set when they're filming, right? Too depressed. So he has a habit. So he gets up in the other room, and the writer, the author of the article, notes that Larry's screaming in the background, "They can't do that!" in the article, because they were thinking of giving it back to the original author at this point, because Larry just can't cut it. Andy can't cut it, and he just wasn't even home. And so what happens is Joel picks in and says, "Well, you got to understand, it's robots in the program." He says this. It says in the article that he starts covering for Larry, going,
Joel Silver,
"Robots in the program, Bob." And you see in the article where the guy goes, "What do you mean robots in the program? What do you mean?" And it's so wild that we said that Joel Silver got it wrong. It was robot-like agents. And later in Oblivion, held by Disney, when the case is thrown, they give him Oblivion, and it's robot-like agents in the program. He gets it right. But the thing is that at the time, the suits are noted in the article as saying, "We know we have a cool thing here. We don't know what it is, what it means. Can you explain it to us? We know we have a cool thing here." It's interesting he said that. We know we have a cool thing here. And like you said with Pope's comment about, you know, the 40, 50 screen, but yeah, that's why the 40, think of this too.
The pages, yeah.
The 40, 50 pages at the beginning is used for Forever Young with Mel Gibson, Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman. It's right from the pages with the same names. In Forever Young in 1993, when they got my work, right? You have Mel Gibson, who claims he introduced the Wachowskis to Warner Brothers. Why? They failed at everything they did. And why is De Laurentiis whining and dining the Wachowskis, promising beautiful women, fame and fortune, if they didn't even make their work yet, right? Apparently they claim they didn't introduce the Matrix story, the science project, they called it in the article, until 1996, 95, after they failed as writers in Hollywood, because they weren't given it. They have Bloom's testimony. They're the ex of Larry.
One more time, could you cover the roles of Mel Gibson and Tom Hanks, respectively?
Oh, yeah. That's such a great find you found, by the way, with his information.
The
about
tab. Yeah. So before you answer my question here, just real quick. Yeah, we found on the last interview this website called Tadler that compiles a bunch of celebrity information together. But considering with how much press the Wachowskis get for them being so against the grain, so to speak, that's all I'll say. You'd think that this site would be accurate with the information they collect, especially when it's talking about stuff that's happening in 2023. But it lists Larry Wachowski by Larry, by his name, and it says everything else on there that he's straight, has a wife,
best friend Tom Hanks.
Best friend
Yeah,
is Tom
friend
Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
There's no other friend
wild.
listed.
See, that was dumb on their part because Warner Brothers has an entry in the copyright trail here that we can show that says Immortals, the title, our title. Tom Hanks commissioned by Warner Brothers to write the Immortals. What kind of copyright entry is that? That means he's commissioned to write it. It's not written. It's not rewritten. So Tom Hanks commissioned by Warner Brothers to write the Immortals. Best friends of Larry, who's going to be given the Immortals, and who's to be my mentor in Hollywood at that time. In 1996, I was told by Ellen Geer when I was out at Hollywood that Tom Hanks would be my mentor along with Ron Howard, which raises eyebrows and questions about Ron Howard, sadly. But at the same time, you have the entry from De Laurentiis, who winded on the Wachowskis, on Assassins with the Wachowskis in 1993, right? So that's why they're going to give this work. Mel Gibson claiming he introduced him there, right? And then you have this thing where the copyright switches. When I'm in July 1996, I resubmit the updated draft to Warner Brothers story department. And that's when De Laurentiis takes his name off the Immortals project, the Immortals title, and they place it with the names of the biggest investment firms in the world, as if they created it. So De Laurentiis Paradise Films and De Laurentiis Pictures, he takes it all off of the Immortals title when I'm resubmitting to Warner Brothers. Again, he was copyrighting the title, of my work after I had submitted in 93. It's just mind-boggling how far they went and how stupid they were. The only way it would make sense is if they killed off the author, which they tried to do.
They tried.
Yeah. And now it's like, there's this, like, if people realize how the cabal is now, how Hollywood and elite and the FBI and agencies are, they are not happy bedfellows right now. They're tearing into each other. In fact, they're trying to make deals with the media to reveal their other compatriots instead of them. See, they're trying to sell each other out now. It is much turmoil on the other side. So you have them now also secretly trying to make deals to bring original authors in. And it's just been, Disney's one of the big leaders in that. So that's why Bob Iger goes back and forth. Bob Iger is supposed to make the good deal. And he was fired when he actually contacted me prematurely, or had his top aide contact me saying he wants to talk to me. He was fired that next day. So there's this, no one has control on the mess going on within inside the cabal. And
it's a daily thing for them dealing with how to handle you.
And their own constituency. Right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. See, the rule of thumb, you're right, Stephen, in Hollywood with the agencies involved, is that if you are successful, think of Game of Thrones with the bank that funds the, royalty, the Summer Group, Tyrells, and so whatever their names, Lannisters. They say that they fund the sure bet, right? They'll fund the sure bet. So if you're on the winning team and have proven yourself, what did Disney say? You've won the chess game because you brought your information forward. So going off of that it just made me realize that's why Disney keeps trying to court, bringing me in to be a script writer where I will script doctor other people's work, steal it for them and be rich and famous. I don't think so. So what happens is, if you are the winning horse, they'll switch up. Their own code of apparatus dictates that you side with the winning throne, they call it. So now they're saying I've won,
the cabal is being torn apart. Paparazzi are telling me that inside, like Rick Leaks, his dear friend now, paparazzi, dear friend, he said that powerful, again, he made the quote, powerful people in Hollywood, dangerous people in Hollywood are for you now. Just stay alive. See, he tagged on, just stay alive. See. So it's all coming out now how the agencies do destroy their own citizenry.
Have they left you alone while you've been in Texas?
Not at first. They had me with a player, and they had the FBI working with that player, and I have the messages from that FBI to the player, So yeah, I was being handled. And they gave a false number. When they said you've won the chess game, they were trying to make me think, and someone pointed this out too, that I had won, but from the inside they said, be careful on the highways. So they're giving you a false sense of security, basically what they're saying, while trying to make themselves viable for bargaining, see? And so, no, I was not safe at that point. So they actually had a hit out on me on the day, what's the day that Christ is supposed to be in hell, working with the people down there after he's crucified? So like an Easter thing going on. The hit was put out on me on that day. And my son was driving to a reunion, and I was in the car behind the van where he was with a family going to it. And so my son was to witness my death. And what happened was these two cars came speeding up in unison. That's how you can tell. They came up in unison on Highway 10, which is the big highway. You have to have a familiar one where they know your schedule. So I said I was going to go to this reunion. So they knew I'd be traveling at what time on the highway. 10 is the way you go. So they had it pinpointed. So this happened before, where the two cars come up, one gets in front of you, separating you from the van of the family in front. And then the other one comes over and starts to shove you into the truck, right? As soon as I saw it happening, I am very calm about these things now. I just went and put my hand on the horn. What that does is you have that blaring horn. They don't like that. Why? It draws attention to them. Someone will start getting a video of what may be a potential accident to post, right? That's our sick society by and large. But that means the license plate will show, the car will show. They'll have it on record who the hit vehicle was. That's a no-no for them. So what happened was when I started blowing my horn and held my ground with the car, both cars like suddenly shot ahead and sped away because they didn't want to get caught. They both raced out there. I followed, passing the van, videoing. So I stayed with him, blowing my horn the whole way to draw attention to him and letting him see me video them. And they just both sped off at that one exit together. See, that's how you handle them. And one of the things they had too was there's a lady named Sue Clark who is connected to the, she said she did research for the CIA in Washington, D.C. on cyber weaponry. Sonic weaponry. And so here she was attaching to me and my brother, Mark. And she became what? Let me show you this. She talked me into, I didn't know who she was at first, really, who she was all about, my power of attorney. So what happens is, what happened to me, what happened to my dad, she would be there if anything happened, and I'd be starved to death. She would have say what happens to me medically after a hit and run. So today I'm going to a dinner to remove this, since it's been brought to my attention. I found in the files, researching for a London group, I found that in the files going, holy mac, that was snuck in there.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to go ahead and have
that
changed. Yes, changing it today. We're having a dinner to change it today, and we'll send notification. You are no longer a power of attorney. See how they do it? A CIA operative, their researcher from DC was my power of attorney, the same way my sister under Fitzpatrick was the power of attorney of my dad, who starved my dad over 40 days, refused to let him change his mind or have food. So the hit and run, they had it in place. I would have been killed. Medically, if it didn't work in the hit and run, I'd be killed afterwards in the hospital. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah. Let that sink in. Yeah. So I want people to realize how we deal with these guys and how we break their system. So I'm alive. They've played all their cards. The last thing they can do, Stephen, is do a raid on my home. They won't find anything they can use against me, but they will plant evidence. And I've already been informed from the inside what they'll plant. You know what they're going to plant? Did I tell you that, what they'll plant on me? They said they're going to plant on me. I have spoken up for the children, right? I've spoken up against pedophilia. You saw that thing with the blue pill, red pill, the blood of the children. They want to plant child porn on me in my home and say, look, this guy is a fraud. He looks at child porn. That's what they want to do, since I'm trying to save the children from the pedophiles in Hollywood. See how they play it? They tag you with what they're guilty of to make you carry their sins, basically, and be destroyed publicly. Their own attorney did that. His name is Sohol. Their own attorney came up to me in the halls outside the courts, calling me a-hole and everything else, loser, shouting it, right? And trying to provoke me. And I said, that's real professional. And he's like, come on, touch me. Go ahead and touch me, see what happens. I walked away from him. He then reported in an email submitted to the courts that I threatened his life, saying that Tom Althouse came up to me and I just smiled. They like to make themselves look good. I just smiled when he whispered in my ear, I'm going to kill you, ... really bad. What the hell? What's the ... for? You know, what are you making up? When he's the one that claimed, you know, so he claims that I said a-hole to him. That's how they work. So you bet you they're going to plant evidence. You bet you they're going to say whatever they can because they don't have evidence on you. So beware, heads up, anyone out there who is revealing the truth, you know, they're going to use these tactics on you. It's the narcissistic card. The narcissist, I did a post recently about this, the narcissist will accuse you and provoke you to blame you for what they do. They blame the innocent for what they do. And then they'll try to provoke you. They go after Aiden a lot to provoke him. They tape it, and then they'll say, oh, look at him. Look at him. He's evil. He's a narcissist. It's all part of the game. I hope that makes sense. Sense.
No, definitely.
Oh, hello to Lady Annihilate. She's great. You guys are great.
Yeah, we got a few comments that rolled in while
Yeah.
we've been deep in conversation here.
So yeah. I'm so glad. It's like a family forming of people that get it, understand it, and you'll see me wear blue. You'll see me drink out of blue glass. Blue eyes. The blue pill is the author seeing what the author saw, whispering through art. And now Keanu Reeves says it's a documentary. No, it's not a documentary, Keanu. And he's part of the ripoff process. He knew he was allowed to see it on set, one of the few, because he was in on it, producing with the Wachowskis.
So, Manduro asked if you ever approached Joe Rogan to be on his show.
Someone was doing it for me at one point, but it didn't carry through. And it's really an argument of or a issue of legitimacy. The more people respond and see the evidence and do critical thinking, and spread like Lady Annihilate's doing.
In my opinion, Rogan, he's a gatekeeper, so he's not.
But that's the thing.
If you say something they don't want out there, they're just going to cut it, or they're going to not have you on altogether.
Well, here's the deal. I hear you. And that's why sharing knowledge is very important, definitely. And you do great research, by the way. Great research. That was such a Larry thing. You know, puts a fraud on their whole transgender thing they're trying to push, you know, on the kids. But the thing is that the legitimacy is what they're battling. They're very afraid of us having influence. That's what they're most afraid of, influence. And the work was written for everybody. So like I said, when this is done, everybody's going to hold a copyright to the original work. So everybody's going to own The Matrix. Isn't that going to be cool? Instead of the Wachowskis' take. So I wrote it so everybody could take their take on it and see what they think it means. And the Wachowskis end up going, we wrote it to immerse audiences, like I said, but they don't explain how, right? And they're too embarrassed to continue doing interviews until the case was thrown. Then suddenly they want every interview they can get. But yes, this was made to immerse audiences, but it's also that everybody can take their take on it. The Wachowskis are the worst people to do their take on it, though. And for that to be the world, you know, view that that's what it's supposed to be, they're the worst ones. They said they failed as writers. They flunked out of school. They just read comic books. They're sci-fi groupies. They're not the ones to do the work. And they're sci-fi groupies that are very intelligent. The Wachowskis are not. So, are you able to play a clip on your airing?
Yeah.
Can you go to the Bound interview and play the Bound interview clip that's so short? It's like a minute and a half. Can you play that clip so audience members can see what the Wachowskis actually sound like when they're trying to explain their work? And it'll also show what the suits of Warner Brothers were getting and why Joel Silver took over in the pitch session for the Wachowskis to be the ones that get the work. why Joel Silver had to finish it, why Larry left the table, because you'll see how they act when they're supposed to pitch it. And that's why Will Smith turned it down too. He basically said, from what I'm told the inside, that these guys are idiots. I'm not going to do this. They didn't show me a script. They just told me how all these things are going to blow up and how cool it's going to be. They didn't show me a script. Now they have Will Smith. They got him by the ropes with that slap incident, coming back going, oh, let me tell you why I turned it down, to try to lift up the Wachowskis. So Will Smith has become spineless. And I'm so sorry to fans of his work and stuff, as I had been, because he's become spineless. He totally sold out. And now he's doing like Oliver. Please, may I have some more? I'll behave myself. I'll say whatever you want with the Wachowskis and everything, even though I said before I turned it down because they're idiots. I'll now say whatever you want. So way to go, Will. Way to go. Way to sell it out, and not be the hero you are in the films. So, but if you have that clip, I'd love people to see that. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up right now. I'm gonna have to play it on my phone because of the audio microphone issue.
That's
So,
okay. That's all right. That's all right. Because it's very important to see, and I want people to picture how, picture the Wachowskis pitching the story, or actually they were pitching that they should be given the story. They even say in the article, they hope to be given the science project when they said they had Plastic Man and Carnivore still isn't done. So picture them at a pitch session saying they should be given the work. Go ahead. Where's the one where they're talking about Bound?
what is that?
I know. Okay, yeah, play this. Play that audio for people.
Did you know, audience, that this person is also this person?
My God. The look has changed. They're toning down his hair. They're trying to redo it.
He has something going on with that front tuft of hair. But no, that thing is like a wig.
He looks like he's transitioning back now. Like he's going to get to change once if I'm dead.
Yeah, those arms.
Then
right.
then they'll try to have him come back. Yeah. I think what's going to happen is he doesn't want to. I mean, Andy definitely doesn't want to be a woman.
He's 58.
Yeah, and they have their genitalia. You know what's showing?
Okay,
Wait, you know what that shows, Stephen? It shows that the money is not coming in so well, because he had the full-on pink, like all that stuff, well overdone. Now it looks like he just doesn't have the income he used to have. Hold it back just a little bit. Okay, can you play the volume on it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right.
Is he having a phone with YouTube?
Someone said copyright strike could apply, and yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Maybe just play the audio.
Oh, this is an actual scene that they're trying to play. Hold on.
Yeah, just play the audio, and I want people to hear how he talks and explains things.
There's enough well-written female parts right to
Can you hear that?
sort of
Yeah.
story kind of started. Decided to make, film noir with the woman as the protagonist. Sort of sexy woman, but never not be evil. Some would say that we have some sort of telepathy or symbiotic relationship. Others would say we just have one idea.
They smoke a joint before doing this?
That's how he talks.
Really split up duties like that anyway. Everybody's always like, what about this? What about this? What about this? As soon as you start saying something like that, it's like you're saying that you're shutting off the other guy's ideas about your technical stuff. You're directing the actors. So,
Can you imagine taking direction for these guys?
What are they even talking about here?
They're talking about Bound. And
No,
it's
but
like,
they're not talking about anything.
I know. That's the thing. It's like,
They're talking hypotheticals about like what would happen on set if they said something to so and so. You guys
no,
are
that's the thing. That's the thing. They really didn't direct it. They were just goofing off on set. And it's like, the Wachowskis, they failed
I'm
at everything.
very disappointed in these people. I'm disappointed in all these people involved with this.
Well, they
did all
take
this to you.
Well, Stephen, they take failed writers. Remember, failed writers that failed at everything to be D players. I'm told this by the Sony guy. D players be brought in to steal the work so they can have the work in-house to steal. There you go. Simple. Take failed people who will be loyal to you that want that ladder, as Larry said, to have the fame, money, and beautiful women, as Dean Laurentiis promised during dinner. Picture having these guys to dinner and promising them beautiful women, fame, and fortune, and for what? They don't have any product at the time. Why are they being taken to dinner by Dean Laurentiis? Because Warner Brothers needs somebody in-house to be claimants for the work. It's a very cowardly thing by Warner Brothers and Dean Laurentiis and Bonaventura and Joel Silver. Very cowardly. Let you claim it. And then they end up putting on titles: director, producer, and writer. Executive producer, director, and writer of The Matrix. These guys have trouble wiping their own butts. And it's a real insult they gave him my work like that. Especially when people, here's the copyright again. The copyright can't be argued. This is the copyright. 1998 version. Can't be argued, says the director and specialist of the Copyright Office. Preceding Matrix. And they don't have a copyright on Matrix. They have a copyright on this title, The Immortals, on the title. And Tom Hanks, best friends of Larry Wachowski, commissioned by Warner Brothers to write it. God, I hope people get it. And I'm glad for those that do. And thanks for those that joined us today that can get it too. Because I'll tell you, I wrote it because I thought audiences were smart. And we have a few people with us that are smart. Most people out there, they're going to say they're red-pilled. The blood of the children, that they're red-pilled. But go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, it's a shame. That we have to. I don't know what the word is.
Crawl.
When we just have to we have to retrain ourselves into not glorifying these
Well, that's
thieves.
the thing. It's like a circus going on. You got the loud music, the elephants trumping around, the twirlers and the acrobats, and people are getting popcorn and whoa, and you're trying to tell them this is really what's going on. Oh, we want to watch the circus. We want to be red-pilled. They're caught. We have things like the affidavit from the submitting attorney. The affidavit from the submitting attorney with the submission letter to 4000 Warner Brother Lane, June 25th, 1993, sending the script, character breakdown, tracking number, and receipt. Come on. We've got the screenplay with the preceding The Matrix with it, and they're copyrighting our title. They don't have a copyright on The Matrix. Come on. Then they say you lost your case. You have a what? The attorney who has a suspended license, who isn't eligible to practice law, who's the classmate of Warner Brothers attorney, who's a defense attorney also, who throws the case by allowing a stipulation order for attorney's eyes only since he's in bed with them, not for judge, jury, or plaintiff, because they admit later on his own tape recorder, he's so stupid he gives me the wrong one back, where they say they don't have any evidence. It's a moot point to ask for discovery or due process, which is fraud. Yes, Sophia Stewart, we can do our case. Because they don't have any working drafts, no notes whatsoever. Then what? Oh my God.
So with that entry that you found that says 346 other titles, were you able to get a list of those titles?
Oh, you can.
Like
right
a
from the Copyright
complete.
Office. Yes, from the Copyright Office.
That would
So
be really fascinating to look at.
yeah. So if you look at that entry too, it's very important to see that entry. Let me go back here.
I did try to look into that website as it is today, and it looks like there's some stuff that's limited, but it showed
I'm sure
about
there is.
20 or so titles of those 360 or 40, whatever.
Right. Well, they're going to try to bury it. That's for sure. Because this makes too much sense, doesn't it? It's way too clear. So I'm just going to call this up for you.
Well, and also the Army of Darkness was used for the third Evil Dead movie by Sam Raimi. So I don't know how even that all connects with this, but it was in the 90s. So.
Right. Well, here, I'm going to go to share screen one more time. So let me just put this up real quick. I want to show you this. So, and steer it any way you want to go. It's your show. So, okay, can you
Thank
see
you,
that?
Tom.
Okay, let's pop this.
Yeah, I think we're okay with the with what we played with that interview, but if we're
Yeah.
not, I mean, it's
Well, look at this here. I want people, I want you all to see this.
we'll
So
get it.
here's the entry of Assassins, which is Wachowski's did with Assassins, right?
Yeah,
And you'll see here, 1993, November 1993. So I submit June 25th, 1993. That's James Boyd's letter, June 25th, 1993, right? So they have to get them going. Assassins, what Larry and Andy Wachowski's, Paradise Films, De Laurentiis Corporation. So De
and this
Laurentiis,
is a film that is starring was it Sylvester Stallone?
yes, and Banderas,
Okay.
what his name is, yeah.
And
So here you
Banderas,
go.
sorry.
There you go. See, look at this. So
And
there
they
it is.
claim that their
Seven.
script was ripped apart.
They failed. They brought another writer in to finish it. They brought another writer in to finish it because the Wachowskis did such a bad job. That's what they were talking about. They need to get out of Warner Brothers. And that's why Joel Silver said, look, and I'll give you the Matrix story. I'll give you the Immortals, the science project. That's why that's going on in 95. See that?
Yeah.
So look at this. There's Larry, there's De Laurentiis Paradise Films on Larry and Andy. Now go to the next one.
340.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Immortals title, our title, 1995, Paradise Films, De Laurentiis, De Laurentiis Productions, and the investment firm claiming they wrote it. No body of work with the subtitles, 342 other titles, and Army of Darkness under it. No body of work. So there they are copyrighting my title. And where's the Wachowskis on this, Stephen? Where's the Wachowskis on the Immortals title? De Laurentiis with Assassins, they fail. So they fail. So now we have this entry before Joel Silver gets the suits to agree to give the work to Wachowskis, while they're doing an article saying we hope we're given the science project. See, while they're saying we're hoping to be given the science project. And that's also in the lost article. They call it the lost article because they struck it, but we have it. Isn't that something? And then after I come forward in 1996, you have the biggest investment firms in Hollywood given the same titles. Army of Darkness, they added 4 more.
Oh,
346 was Army of Darkness, Immortals. Added on when I'm resubmitting in 1996, July, from Ellen Gear's Theatricum in Hollywood. We'll get Theatricum. And you only have investment firms listed as creating the work. What happened to De Laurentiis? He ran for the hills as soon as I resubmitted. They did a new entry.
so what does that mean? I know we go a few rows down here. It says date of execution, December 29th of 95, and then date of recordation is a few up, and
Right.
that's in the summer in July of 96.
Right. Date of execution is what they claim. They claim it, that it was done. They claim it.
Okay.
And when it enters the Copyright Office, it's there. That's the date of recordation is when the Copyright Office enters it. They have it. They enter it when they get it. So this can
Now,
be
do you have a date of execution for the script that you're holding?
Yes. So what
And
happened?
do you have a matching?
Well, here's the deal. This is very important to follow.
I probably
Look at
should
this.
have asked you about that before.
No,
but yeah.
look, here we go. Watch this now. So this is an important question. So as told by the copyright attorney, if you have an attorney submitting, it's better than a copyright. June 25th, 1993
Okay.
is the date of execution where it's published to Warner Brothers. See that? Certified mail. This is your copyright.
Ooh, yeah.
So they want to
there we go.
say, that's why Rankin says they don't have anything. I talked to him. He gave me all this.
That's all you need.
Including this. Let me get it real quick. Cooperate, computer. Including his affidavit about how he submitted it in full and they received it in full. And also, here you go. This is why they got so upset on our panicking. Because George Michael was killed to make it look like there was no copyrights or proofs before 96. And here it is right here, James Boyd saying that it was sent in, verified, everything, the attached materials, story treatment, script and everything. That's why they thought they had me, and it's a good point you made. On my work, data creation is 1992, but it is entered on record in 96, right? Because this is better. But they thought they'd get rid of those records. But the submitting attorney came through and had it all. See? So
Oh
they're
yeah.
in trouble. This
It
is
was
why George
92.
Michael. This is why George Michael was killed in 2016. And that's why, because they don't want any proof that the work was done before 1996. Because Wachowski's first put title to script or titled page of 1996 is when they put Matrix title down for the first time, because they weren't given the work to steal until 1996. See? So it was called the Science Project until then. Here's the Netherlands Bank, biggest investment firms in the world. Society General, biggest investment firms in the world, claiming they came up with the work. Now, Warner Brothers said Joel Silver and Bonaventura never connected. Here's them in 1993, after they got my work, celebrating. Joel Silver, Bonaventura. So Joel Silver claims he bought it with his spec money from Bonaventura, who I pitched to, Lenny Coco's home, who still says he discovered and shepherded the Matrix story. See? Included discovering and shepherding the Matrix into production. He's the one I gave my work entrusted to. And here he is hanging out with Joel Silver, who he gave it to, who bought it with his spec money and then gave it to the Wachowskis after convincing the suits to do so. This is a culpable picture. This picture right here. And these women that are getting struck as gold diggers and getting the money off these guys too.
Yeah, I was going to ask who they are, but
Yeah.
they're probably
Hanger-oners that are going to make
picture.
money off it. They're going to make money off this too.
Yeah.
They latch on. What did Dean Laurentiis say when he said you want to die in the Wachowskis? You'll have beautiful women clutching on you. Yeah, yeah. These same women probably be clawing at me if I had been given credit for the work. That's the Hollywood. That's how Hollywood works. Isn't that something? So here's a composite of the theft story.
Oh,
Joel
that's
Silver,
great.
the
I'd like to get a copy of this.
Okay, I'll give you one. I'll send
Yeah.
you one. So Joel Silver claims the attorneys for Joel Silver said that he never had anything to do with the Matrix. Really? 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 Here's Dean Laurentiis. Here's the Wachowskis. Here's the clock face they stuck in the Animatrix with 7259 and that 44 past the age. My diploma. Isn't that something? And Kate Moss was not the woman I would pick for the piece, by the way. Let me stop sharing. I wanted to read to you the description of Trinity, right? So they're casting off. They don't have any working drafts. They don't have copies. They don't have any materials, right? So they have to work off of the original piece and descriptions of the characters. And so when you go to the Trinity character, when you write, you're supposed to introduce the character with a description of them when they're first introduced, right? And so I want to read to you what the Trinity's description is. And keep in mind, again, for people listening in, the reason they named her Trinity, it's not that clever. The reason they named her Trinity is because in the original work, Neo has 3 love interests as he's shuffled around in and out of the program. He falls into different people's ways. So they called her Trinity because there's 3 love interests. Not so brilliant. As you listen to Larry talk, you get the idea these guys aren't that smart, but they want to appear clever. So Trinity was picked. So I'm just looking now for the thing, but go ahead and talk.
So yeah, in the comments, Manduro asked, "Isn't it too dangerous to show all the evidence you have? It makes it easier."
Good question. Not at this point. They have basically most of the stuff I have because of providing an unlicensed attorney who was their classmates and providing him his own staff out of Disney and Warner Bros. To throw the case. So he had all my stuff. So the best thing I can do is educate the public, and that's why Disney says we're winning. Fair question, and it's important to have the answer to it. That it's important to show the public now what we have.
They're assuming it's given them a chance to prepare and set up new lies.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So
Okay.
what we need to do is show the evidence to defeat them publicly, and that's what they're afraid of, is the public catching on. This is what they're afraid of, the public catching on. So yeah. So we need to educate the public. We need to show the public the evidence. We need to put it out there, everything they tried to block. And we also take a clue. What they fear most is what needs to come forward. They're fearing people catching on that the blue pill is good. They actually fear that because it's a simple concept to catch on to, right? And the more people that say they're blue-pilled means that they know the work was stolen and that the red pill was based on the blood of the children. They lose their red pill movement, right? Like the guy with the horns, like we said, Jake saying he's red-pilled. Red-pilled this. I hope he didn't red pill the nation. You're working for the other side if you say you're red pilled the nation. So that means you're pushing forward the blood of the children as being good to ingest.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Yeah, it's like everything concerning red pill and Matrix is so deep in our culture now that like we're using that as a reference in real life situations. And it's
Isn't that something? The blood of the children as being good to ingest.
it's supposed to be a
Take the red
positive
pill,
message. Like
drink the blood of the
everybody's tricked into thinking it's a positive message of
horrible.
Unplugging yourself from the Matrix, taking the red pill, and it's not. It's the opposite.
It's horrible.
And
It's
the
disgusting.
The whole way that it's all presented. Yeah, like it's
Isn't
not
that
even
incredible?
what it's supposed to be. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I finally found it too. But isn't that something? Every time someone says they're red pilled, they're agreeing with Hollywood, who stole the work, that it's okay to ingest the blood of the children. So think of it that way. If I'm like the guy with Jake with the horn saying, I just red pill the whole nation on this show. Yeah, then Jake, you're saying, I just talked everybody into taking the blood of the children and drinking it. Great. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Kudos.
You know, I find myself not quoting movies anymore
I don't blame you.
and not making references to movies.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
I think it's a healthy practice to have in general. But if you find yourself relying on that a lot, being like, oh, this is just like so and so movie, and people are not getting it. That might
Exactly. I finally got to the spot here too. Jeez Louise, that took me a while. Okay. Viewer shut. Immortal station.
Yeah, Manduro says, okay, now it makes sense to publicize it. You're welcome.
I appreciate that. You know, there's actually 2 train station scenes. Here's the second one. 2 train station scenes. They simplified it and saved on budget by making it 1. The second one is when Neo's in the original. Here we go. Little Easter egg, whatever, truth. Neo's cut from the program. The Oracle sends Monique. Monique is Trinity's name. Monique is that particular character, and also called Remnant. She has the biblical name Remnant. 2 names. So Monique is sent to help Neo get through the train station and into safety, out of the program. See, that's the second train station scene. First one's the little girl. It's being pushed forward for a better life in the program by her parents. They're thinking it'll be a better life. That's the first one. Isn't that something? Second one, it's not supposed to be one scene, but they saved on, and it's supposed to be crowded with all kinds of people crowding there in the first one, and they simplify it, sterilize it to make it low, but less budget. And that's another thing where Will Smith was in on the theft and knew all about it. And I Am Legend or whatever Legend, they finally had that scene done. It's probably Will Smith that said, "Why don't we do the train station scene the way it's supposed to be?" Like I saw in the stolen script. Heard about the stolen work. Why don't we do it right where it's a crowded scene with haggard people pushing their kid forward, and we'll do it with me. Will Smith's not a good guy. Yeah. Nice. That's cool. That's very cool.
It's like a blue rock.
I like it. Yeah, like a lapis almost.
Yeah, I can't really get it.
I'm looking for the entry of her. No, I know where it is. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Wait, I'm having trouble finding the entry. I'll have to get this to you later. This is so wild. I'll have to get you where the Trinity character is introduced. Basically, I'll just tell you what it basically says, since I can't find it in my own work right now. It's in there. It's so many layers to it. It basically says she has a look that's intimidating to most men, right? And very intelligent, very beautiful look. Is intimidating most men. So you see where they're drawing, the Carrie Moss is drawing her idea from, how to present herself. And she does it in a very simplistic way, not my choice for the actress, sorry to say. But just like I would never push Keanu Reeves. And do you know that Keanu Reeves was not chosen to be Neo? Did I tell you that? That Keanu Reeves wasn't chosen to be Neo. The suits pushed Keanu Reeves to save him after Johnny Lightning to boost his career in the stolen work. So Keanu Reeves' career is made off of the stolen work, knowing it's stolen work to save his career. And the Wachowskis didn't even have a choice. They wanted Will Smith or the guy that did Riz Lost Ark group. So series. So Sean Connery. So they didn't want, even didn't want him. And I wouldn't want him either. Terrible actor for Neo. And everybody thinks he's great for Neo. He's lifeless. He kids around on set. He jokes around. He doesn't pay attention to the craft. He doesn't play himself. I would never hire Keanu Reeves to do the work unless it's to restore and understand he wants to come clean. But he just doesn't have the acting chops. He'd rather be partying with his biker friends or offing his girlfriend. So yeah.
Yeah.
Bad guy, groomed entirely by the Warner Brothers elite and the inside Hollywood elite and the agencies to fool the people. And now they're pushing him to fool the children in the pedophile agenda. So that's why in SpongeBob, he pops out in the previews and his real life head pops out and talks to the kids. He is the poster boy of the pedophiles to bring the children into the system. He's been groomed by the inside because he can't act on his own merits. So they groomed him entirely to be the face of the pedophile movement. Let that sink in. Very bad guy. So they make him like he's some kind of benevolent. And now he's trying to, I was told by his friends inside, he's trying to model himself after me. Since he took the work, he thinks he can get away with the theft by modeling himself after me and presenting himself as me. He's going back to the original work where the original character is modeled after myself so I could flesh out the character in the story. And that's why Thomas A, the double name of Neo with Thomas A. So the real life Keanu Reeves wants to be Thomas A taking his place and have the fame off of Thomas A's work. That's what's going on. And pretending to be the real life guy while having the pedophile agenda. Blood of the children. It's unbelievable. Whoever Hollywood grooms is not good. Say it again. Whoever Hollywood and the media grooms, the agencies, is not good. They've agreed to sell their souls in order to be given the PR they are. So if anybody's published out there in the media as, you know, all over the newsstands, all over the films, all over these interviews, they're not good. And that's what's scaring me about this Jake guy with the horns. He's out there now. And it's like, he's saying he's red-pilled. And he's claiming part of this movement, you know, at the Capitol. And it's like, I say, sellout, total sellout.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard things that like he was a federal informant, federal agent. But I have no idea.
Well, right
There's
now,
so much like conflicting information out
he's
there.
helping the other side. He got out early. The others didn't. Think of this. He got out of jail early. No one else did they? Why was he let out early? Do we have any explanation why? He says in the interview that he had good behavior and realized he had done wrong and wants to let people know he did wrong, that yes, it was legal and it was good that he served his time. And what's your message, dude? What's your message? That we should comply? That we should I do the same thing and say that it's okay they took my work? I was an idiot for daring to face them down. They have the power. So nobody else do it, just comply, and I'll dress up like a Viking so I get some attention. Wow. Is that to be our leaders now? So he can say he's red-pilled. I'm not. I'll never be red-pilled. I will not do it. I will not suffer the children and say that I'm part of the red.
You know, so there was something that crossed my mind a few moments ago. We accept the idea of red flags being bad.
Yep.
But they're pushing the idea of red pill being good.
Yep. And what is danger? What is stop? What is don't enter?
Red.
You know, what is exit in emergency? It's like, you know, emergency, danger, run, get out. The only thing really I know of where red is really good is China, where it's a color of celebration.
Yeah, it's the
That's about
color of their
it.
flag too.
So if they want to promote China in this, then sure fits. Sure. Because all these deals are
Communism.
being made between China and the Hollywood industry. Robinoff, when he was ousted by Joel Silver, when my case was thrown, Robinoff has to leave. He's given like a 30 film deal in China. There's a deals between China and Hollywood and the agencies. So I don't see where they say that, oh, we're working against China. No, the US is in bed with China.
Are they shooting in China too for Hollywood?
Yeah, they're shooting
productions?
films in China too. Yeah. Yeah, the studios are also there. It's cheaper. So
Okay.
there's a partnership with China and the US. And if you're ousted here, you go there. It's like Siberia in World War II. But you're sent out there and you get to have your deal there. You get to make your films there. 30 film deal. Robinoff got that. Robinoff got that from Joel Silver. And Greg Silverman was put in place. And that's when they did Elysium, Warner Bros. Ripping my work off with Elysium, which was just insane. We've gone over that.
Yeah.
Big box in the back of the neck and everything like that. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
it's a
Lady
lot to think about.
Lady
It really
Nightlight said, I want to know if they know what red pill really means. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. I think many of these people that claim they're fighting for the right side, and all this and for the kids, it just kills me that they say they're red pilled. Obviously, they have latched on to what they've been programmed to do, And that Jake, one more time with Jake with the horns, this is a warning to anybody that's coming out of the system after they try to prosecute you and make you a puppet. Jake actually said that he appreciated the programming he was given in his time in prison. He appreciated the programming he was given in his time in prison, and he got out early. What does that tell you? I don't want to watch any interviews with Jake. My God.
No, I haven't. And I don't
Halloween.
plan
Halloween.
to.
Yeah. Halloween's your thing, Jake. Go for Halloween. Dress up like a Viking with the horns on Halloween. And there's your niche. But don't tell us when you say that you've been, you appreciate the programming. My gosh, can you bend any lower and pucker your lips any more to kiss the large round things in front of your face that belong to the pedophile kingdom? Yeah. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, all we're missing is Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my gosh.
In the mix somewhere.
Oh my gosh. I want to encourage people, the way to win this fight is, as Aiden said, you never give up, stay consistent, stay strong, find the joy in representing the truth. Be accountable. If you make a mistake, admit it. Be transparent. And if you find what the other side fears most, present it. Even if they strike your channels and things, present it. What they fear most is them handing the key to destroying their whole network, to bringing them down. And keep in mind, like I said before, they all say they're fans of the work. They're not saying fans of the Matrix. They're telling me they're fans of the original work they know that was used on set. If you want to lead a charge or keep a movement intact, you do not pick the Wachowskis to be your face of it, to be your spokespeople. That you just saw that clip you held up. We just played that. That's the worst people in the world to front your movement because they're going down. They're just so dumb, And then Joel Silver picks up to be the one that covers for them all the time. He even said that the Wachowskis, when they stopped doing interviews when I was coming forward, said, well, the boys are embarrassed to talk about Matrix. Way to go, Joel Silver, with the brain of a pea. So what happens is Joel Silver, that's going to be your cover front guy who talks to the execs and says, Bob, look, it's robots in the program, gets it wrong, corrects it in the Disney version. Joel Silver was known as the most hated man in Hollywood. So he's the most hated man in Hollywood, by his own words. And the dumbest people in Hollywood, I don't think anybody could possibly beat the Wachowskis for that title, are the ones that are fronting the movement in the theft. Then you have Sophia Stewart, who has 33 pages, not even a script, claiming to be the mother of the movement, mother of the Matrix. They handed us a pretty easy ticket if you get by them using the courts.
And I think it's odd that Joel Silver seems to be the authoritative speaking voice for the Wachowskis, why couldn't they themselves say, sorry, we don't do interviews, thank you?
You're right.
Joel Silver has to say that they don't
There-
do interviews.
There's a video clip too. You just raised an important point, Stephen. There's a video clip where it shows at a gala or an event, or outside the event, and this lady comes up and goes, "Oh, you did Joel Silver's piece or something like that, right? Or something like that about the Matrix." And Larry's very upset, and he goes, "Yeah, Joel Silver, our fearless leader." There's no unity between them, right? And so he's admitting it. Where again, Warner Bros. Attorney said, "Joel Silver has nothing to do with the Matrix. He owns a third of the franchise." So yeah, nothing to do with the Matrix.
Yeah, this big old
every one of the
square
Matrix.
logo is just like rising out of the
All
water
over
or
it,
whatever
all
at
over
the end
it.
of
Silver
every.
Pictures, everything, right?
Yeah.
And keep in mind too that Joel Silver says, well, they bungle it right and left, that he submitted the work in '94, but the Wachowskis first showed it to him in '95. Yeah, and he gave it to him in '95 after he proved his suits. And then he says that the greatest thing, the genius of the Wachowskis, are you ready for this? The genius of the Wachowskis is shown through the Matrix. In what scene do you think, Stephen? What part of the Matrix does Joel Silver say the genius of the Wachowskis shines through? Do you know this? I don't expect you to.
No,
Okay,
I don't
ready?
know.
All right. Do you remember the thing taken from Aliens? They even stripped it from Aliens, where Sigourney Weaver or whatever gets in the walking loading device, loading thing that looks like a robot.
Yeah, the walker. Yeah.
And it's open in the front, and she goes and that thing, fights the alien with it. Kind of cool. Well, Joel Silver says that the Wachowskis gave them a quarter-size model of it. They keeps on in his studio, and that the real genius of the Wachowskis was how they took that and turned it into a back-loading fighting machine. Okay, let me just let that sink in. That's the real genius. And you know what? That is basically the only thing they came up with on their own in the stolen work, is the backloading machine thing. I don't have that in the screenplay. So Joel Silver's looking and fishing for something that he can say, here's the real genius that they actually did. Okay. The backloading machine is the most stupidest thing in the world. Because first of all, when you're fighting the Horde, you're completely exposed. Here's my chest. Here's my heart. Here I am exposed without any armor. Really smart, Wachowskis. Plus, it has to be loaded from the back, which means in the midst of battle, you have no way to keep going because you can't load. Really smart, Wachowskis. It should have been something where they walk up to something and load up again and can keep fighting without needing some idiot kid to be running back and forth, getting shot at, also exposed.
Or
And that's why in James Cameron's Avatar, in Avatar, they use the same thing. You've got the walking things, and they finally put a skin on in the front, which, keep in mind, the attorneys for Warner Bros. Bragged how they took Avatar and Immortals. And there's that clip during the deposition where they say, given the fact that you wrote The Matrix, oops, strike that. That's not some accidental just slip. Isn't that something? That they actually said that. The lead attorney for Warner Bros., classmates with rank and suspended license, all defense attorneys, saying, given the fact you wrote The Matrix, Tom Althouse, I think they know the clock's ticking. There's no way they're going to be able to prevail. It's going to end. Yeah. Yeah. And there's that thing about someone made a comment about the communicate with a lot of protective moms. Yes, child services is used to take away the kids. They used it on me. They will come at you and all they need is a party that's in their pocket, well rewarded, to say, oh, he says this, or he's going to he's in a suicide pact, or he's going to kill his son. They don't ask, you're not allowed to present any evidence. You're not allowed to answer it. They have a well-rewarded sister, in my case, that's allowed to say that. And the SWAT team shows up. And you don't have due process. And you're going to be shut away for life. Isn't that something? So you're absolutely right. The psych field and family services is the worst now being used for the pedophile agenda for the agencies. And there's a lady named Samantha Harrison who came to our house and told us that, I wish more families were like you. I wish, interview Aiden and said, Aiden, we have to come every time we're sent by the sister. And then we find out she's working with the agencies. We got the intel on the inside, the things where she was looking to create a case against the father, wasn't even there for the care of the child. She was there using child services as a way to try to put the father away for life. And she had entries like, I think we can prove mania. Almost. Not yet. We can't do it yet. While she's telling us that we're a great parent and that I wish there were more people like us. Talk about deception. Samantha Harrison of Bucks County Child Services, to prove the point AM's making, was employed to bring me down along with the SWAT teams and also the Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick working with the police to destroy the author's career and life, rewarding the sister with black tie dinners, trips to London, trips to the Caribbean, titles such as president of all psych people, top psych person, she's not even licensed. It's like, you're like, what? That's how they do it. Reward and punishment. Reward and punishment. Now, if I become a script doctor for Disney and launder other people's works, they said I'll be rich, Aiden will be safe, and but my name will never be on the work, but I'll be stealing other people's work. If I do that, my sister's out of a job. But I'm not going to take other people's work. I'm going to do it right and see if we can get to the end of this by actually making the film that Sophia Stewart doesn't want us to write. Anything Sophia Stewart says is Warner Brothers and the CIA and the FBI saying, don't let them do this, talk them out of it. And that's why, again, on her site, it says the red pill is good, the blue pill is bad. If you know Sophia Stewart, she'll talk endlessly. Sounds like I am. But the thing is, like, on her notes, she doesn't do one-liners. No, and where's the expletives and the cursing that she usually does, her MO? She does these little entries when she's told to, and she does it minimalistically to fulfill the requirement and check it off that she's told to, in order to look for that money in the future from Warner Brothers to be the inside. So the Kate Chilton letter shows. See the pattern? They're so stupid. They're all so dumb. They're all so dumb. Sophia Stewart was supposed to be a first claimant. So any interviews we do, you're probably going to see stamped on, I thought a black woman wrote it. No, you're supposed to hear that. You're supposed to.
It's going to pop up a lot.
You know what did she say? Show us the copyright. Show us this, Sophia Stewart. Show us this. Show us a copyright. Now, Sophia Stewart's comeback is, this is a forgery. Do you think that's a forgery? Does that look like a forgery? Would I put these exact names on it if I'm trying to push a forgery? Do you want to look up and see if they're at the Copyright Office? Do you want to see their position? Do you want to see if they can talk about this and say if it's them that sent this? This is the copyrights. I mean, good luck, Sophia Stewart. Make a mock-up forgery. Show us. Make a mock-up forgery. And show us your actual copyright of The Third Eye, which is 33 pages or so long. I'm calling her out. And if you have the courage to stop putting public things out there, come on a show. Come on a show and let's talk about our work and see what it has to do. My work has nothing to do with the Terminator, and neither does yours. Certainly yours doesn't have to do with the Matrix. So come on, bring it. Bring it.
The invitation has been sent.
Big time.
Sophia.
And they watch everything we do. My sister scours anything we do. And she goes whining and raging. And
no, this will be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this installment.
The only way we make the change is to be transparent, open, lay it out. Do you know that everything I say is scrutinized? Every fact I throw is scrutinized.
Yeah.
That's why I say, if you make a mistake, apologize.
It means you're making them sweat. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, it's good for people to do their, like, I don't know, due diligence or whatever.
Yeah, their homework.
We're supposed to be critical of everything.
Yes.
But I mean, at a certain point, it just becomes like just for the sake of being critical.
Ask Sophia Stewart to post her copyright, and ask her to show the matchups from her work. That'll be fun. Yeah, she sent me her work when she was trying to handle me. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Yeah, it's easy to say you won a court case, but negate the grounds of how you won it. They told me a Wednesday and it ended up being a Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, you win the whole case for the amusement park and the design of the rides and all that too. wait, hold up a second now. And now this is a real thing. If it was distribution she was lied to about through Warner
Right.
Brothers, and that's how she won
It
her
would be
court case,
correct.
it has nothing to do with the content.
It would be corrected. Yeah. And Matrix 4 would never have been done.
No,
If she claims she holds the trademark, that shows the brain right there. Why?
it would have been dead in the
Wachowskis-
water. The
the
whole
one thing
thing.
The one thing the Wachowskis did was they did take this title, The Immortals, which Jalen Lawrence doesn't have to copyright, and switch the letters around and come up with Matrix. They did switch the letters around and come up with Matrix. What? I would not contest that. Matrix is the only thing they did do besides that weird backloading thing with the exposed front. Can you imagine pitching to the military? I have a great design for a weapon system now. The guy sits in here with a totally exposed body, basically naked, and he goes into battle. What do you think? $1 million contract? Just not help us. And Joel Silver has the model on his table. It's idiots with idiots. And they hire idiots to protect themselves. So, yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't
Warner
sound
Bros.
like a good fail-safe. Hiring or idiots hiring idiots.
If we get due process in a fair venue, they're going to surrender immediately. I predict this. They will surrender immediately. Make the film, educate the public, which you're doing so well, so diligently. And the
Thank you,
public,
Tom.
I mean, and the people that are smart are getting it because it's critical evidence that matters. Call Sophia Stewart out on her critical evidence. Have her show it. Have her show her matchups, display it. Like I'm holding up the script. Have her do it, And like I showed that composite, which I'm going to send you, have her do it. But in a fair venue, they will cave immediately. They've already said, we know you wrote it. We know you wrote it. The only thing that's stopping justice being done and the children being freed is if audiences don't get it yet. That's the battleground right now. That's why we're not going to the courts yet. We're doing the battleground of public opinion. They're afraid of the court of public opinion. As soon as the pitchforks and torches are lit, they give up. The children are freed. Yeah. But thanks, Steve, for doing this. Thank you, Stephen, again.
Oh no, it's my pleasure. Yeah, and like we have so much to cover still.
Oh yeah, like the Ukraine thing. Oh my God. And
yeah,
Larry revealing the thing where he's straight, that his preference is straight. That he's supposed to be the face of the transgender movement. That's what Warner Bros. Intended.
Yeah, the bombshell news of that.
And then
Larry is listed as straight in 2023.
And I gave you page 94, where in the actual Immortal script, the transgender issue first surfaces and how they took it and twisted it and made it about themselves and actually encourages the pedophile movement. Isn't that something? It's like page 94, when you read it, you see what it was really intended to be. And you see what the writing is compared to the real author, compared to that which you held up to the screen. Larry and Andy just talking like they're in a bar and half wasted. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it was low enough quality too, so that we don't get the stupid copyright thing. But if we do,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
We have all of the shorts. The beauty with the shorts, is that this one video of this 2-hour interview will get a few hundred views. This will turn out about 120 to 140 clips, which each clip will get a few hundred to several thousand views per clip.
Right.
So it's just going to expound on itself. So
right.
I'm not really concerned about the copyright stuff right now, so to speak.
Not at all. And talking of smart people, like I see Elizabeth Beam, AM, Lady Annihilate. It's like I'm looking at the comments right now, and yes, Elizabeth Beam with the Sophia is known as the botanical witch. Yeah, you're absolutely right. In fact, her number one guy, she ranks her people like they're lieutenants and stuff in her organization. She wants to be this famous celebrity and all this stuff where she's got nothing to base it on. But he had said, Nicholas Jackson actually said that she was in-house witch for Warner Brothers. That's absolutely right. If you look at some of her stuff, she's actually putting curses on people. It's unreal. And I can show you we go that's actually happening. And my heart goes out to AM about what you said about 3 beautiful children, gifted children. So you do know, and my heart goes out to you on that. And thank you, Lady Nihilite, about the sister and daughter. Yes, absolutely right. That they actually have my daughter married into the firm, the relative of the very firm that threw our case. His Ralph Rios and Associates threw it in the end. Ralph Rios has Jacob Rios as a relative that married my daughter when the case was being thrown. So when Joel Silver is getting oblivion, you know, when the case is thrown, and the Wachowskis are getting Sense8 when the case is thrown, and when Warner Brothers is giving Greg Silverman with Sony to do Elysium, that's when my daughter is being given the man she's going to be with, who never did a day of work in his life as part of the Mexican mafia. Cover tats. So yeah, so that's how it works. But Sophia Stewart, she actually pastes curses on people on her own site. Let me just show you. I'm going to the screen right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misreading this, but I want all y'all to see this. And I still say all y'all sometimes because that's from the Virginia influence. But check this out right here. Oops. Okay, so this is Sophia Stewart herself. And it's interesting, now she posts herself as this young person, and she's wearing low-cut tops that actually start to show what I don't want to see.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
I would not
She
venture into looking that up.
So unless she's on the Immortal program and de-aging, she doesn't look so much like the Bulldog. But now it's like, as she presents herself, cursed Terminator franchise movie. Cursed. Dark Fate. Okay, wow. And then you get to the next one. She likes to throw that around. Here we go. I don't know what I'm getting here. Look at this. Look what she says. Backing up Elizabeth Bean. The curses are ongoing to be too numerous to count. More to come. The curses are ongoing to be too numerous to count. More to come, says the witch in-house at Warner Brothers. God is the final word. Too bad you do not know him. I'm sorry, but if you're throwing curses, I don't think you are knowing God. Arnold Schwarzenegger had to flee his Brentwood home due to the California fires. Oh, is that from Sophia Stewart? He had evacuated his house at 3:30 a.m., counseling Terminator Dark Fate film premiere at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. No coincidence there. You all wasted Tenet Pictures money for nothing. So Sophia Stewart, if I'm reading this right, Sophia Stewart can throw curses. She's going to throw some more to come. And it actually caused Arnold Schwarzenegger to flee his home due to this powerful woman. Is this something? Am I reading this right? It's from her own words. She says,
yeah, you're reading it right, but as far as like it be having
she says more curses to come.
Okay, I probably shouldn't be laughing about this because there's some real like energies and powers that people work with.
Yeah, we can open the door to. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but,
yeah. Isn't that something though? My God. Anyway,
I guess I'm laughing at the lengths that these people will go to try to instill fear upon others.
And this delusion of power. They're the ones that say, like, narcissists will always accuse you of what they do and what they are. And so Sophia Stewart always says, Tom's an egomaniac, you're a footnote, you're a nothing. It's a projection, you know, on any of us. And anyone else she attacks many people. And so even her demographic, she'll attack them. And so it's like, you know, what is she saying? You know, and then this thing about cursing, there's going to be more curses to come. That's delusional. That's just like, does she actually think she has that kind of wielding power?
Yeah, and what's the end game for her?
I guess be queen of the world. She actually has this entry. One of her guys sent me this thing. He had me do a program, actually, right? This guy, Insider, had me do a program. And like you said, you know, you both were, you know, some of the people were warning me about what to watch for. And there's none of her curses are working anymore. They will backfire on her, all of them. Yes, I agree, Elizabeth Beam. Yes, indeed. Yes. And yeah. So, and that's what you have is this idea where the program, they said that we have these predictions, these future predictions and scrolls basically or something. And it was written by Sophia Stewart, where she has herself being the light of the world and I'm the evil one. She wrote her own prophecies to cast me in a bad light. I'd say that's a little bit of obsession right there. That sort of obsession. Anyway, Stephen, thank you though. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no,
Thank
Tom,
you.
it's awesome talking to you every time.
Yeah.
So
I would say they're shaken up. They're afraid. They're shaken up. They're definitely shaken up. And you're doing fantastic work. And thanks for those
Thank
in the
you.
chat too. Thanks for being here with us on this. too.
yeah, we're making a lot of ground. We're on 5 different social media sites prominently, where we're getting all of our talks out there in
Good.
short snippets, along
Good.
with links to the longer interview that it comes from. So that's the
That's-
format that's getting out there right now.
That's defeating the FBI strategy of isolate and alienate. And
Yeah,
so-
yeah, and we're breaking through with viral videos. So like one of
Good job.
those
Good
went
job.
up to I think 35,000 views. So
Fantastic. Well, we revealed about Ukraine and the FBI's involvement in Ukraine. Sky News and CNN tried to shut it down, pretending to be on opposite poles of it, trying to shut it down. And it's not working. It is coming out. The FBI sent Brian Fitzpatrick, and my sister, to go to Ukraine in 2014 to stabilize that country and get rid of Viktor Shokum. The same reason they're saying now, these news sources, that Biden should be impeached. So the FBI is now trying to cover their tracks by using Sky News and others to say that the FBI is revealing information on Biden. The FBI sent their operatives, Brian Fitzpatrick and Trudeau's Donald Baxter, to do the very thing with the Bidens to get rid of Viktor Shokum. And that article shows it. It shows it. And can I show that one more time? Just pop that up before we go.
yeah, go
Okay,
for
I
it.
want to just pop that up before we go, because this is what's upsetting them the most. And like I said, do what upsets them the most. So let's just pop that up one more time. It'll be our exit speech. I want to show you, what they fear most. Oh, this thing's in the way. Hold on, get it out of the way. There we go. Okay, here you go. Here it is. I put Biden in the center looking up at it. And there's Fitzpatrick on each side. Look at that face. God help us. Anyway, so that in this article throughout, Fitzpatrick says over and over about how everyone was saying they got to get rid of Viktor Shokum. The whole law apparatus said they got to get rid of Viktor Shokum. And this was supported by the law enforcement agencies, Baxter says, sent by Trudeau. Not 2014, over in Ukraine. There was general consensus that Shokin wasn't moving on the cases that existed. He wasn't pushing for reforms. And yeah. And then it said about Biden warning that they would not receive $1 billion in loan guarantees unless Shokin was removed. The FBI was there to make sure Shokin was removed. And here's the face that went to do it with Biden's blessing. Brian Fitzpatrick, lifelong FBI operative from Hollywood, California, handler of my sister, black tie dinners, taking her everywhere, going, you got to meet this person, you got to meet this person, and giving her all these rewards. Congressman of Pennsylvania, also lifelong FBI operative. I have a picture off his desk in his office, which has a packet on it for your eyes only from the FBI at Wilshire Boulevard, the building at Wilshire Boulevard in Hollywood. He's still very much, that's not a pension when it says for your eyes only. He's still very much an operative while being a congressman, right? FBI agents are prohibited from disclosing classified or law enforcement information that has not been publicly disclosed or could pertain to ongoing matters. Okay, so Fitzpatrick's office did comment on Trump Zelensky's call, though offering a rebuke while also saying the congressman opposed impeachment efforts. What? You just said that you were there to make sure. Oh, there you go. He was sent there to make sure Viktor Shokum is removed, but he's going to protect Biden at the same time by opposing impeachment efforts. Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
Yeah, and I don't think we've heard the end of this at all.
No, so they don't want this out that the FBI is the one that should go down with Biden for getting rid of Viktor Shokum to destabilize the government there. Sovereign nation, which FBI is not supposed to be on foreign soil, hello, especially sending this goon, to make sure that Ukraine can then be used for experiments.
Were you the one that said dissolve it?
I'm the one that says the FBI should be dissolved.
Just dissolve
Yes.
the whole thing? Yeah.
And
I agree with you.
Stop funding them. Stop funding them. But this is, you know, this article appeared. My mom found it. It's in the local paper in Philadelphia because it's a cover article for Fitzpatrick after he failed at the 302 on me. So he has a cover article which tries to justify and blow away the smoke of his involvement in getting rid of Viktor Shokum, which is the issue now to remove Biden. See this? So this is his cover article after he failed the 302 attempt. If he had succeeded, you never would have heard from me. This cover article would not have been needed. See? And that's something? With that, I leave you with that.
Wow.
So the more people push that forward, the better. The FBI is responsible for the downing of Viktor Shokin in Ukraine, working with Biden. And Fitzpatrick is the man that did it. Keep doing that. You can free our kids. Keep putting it forward. You can free our kids. Okay. Thanks, Stephen.
Excellent. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, so we'll do this again soon.
Sure.
Like Saturdays seem to work first Saturday of the month.
Sounds good
looks
to
like.
me. Sounds really good.
So if tentatively we'll try for that. And that's also for the audience to know so you can be here the next time.
Let's see. So I have a 9 a.m. podcast on that Saturday, 9 a.m. Central. So we can do, I'm sure we can do 11 podcast again. So Stephen, okay. Very good. Kudos to all the people getting on board and getting word out too. Thank you. Because this is a fight to save the kids. This really is. And they're saying that if we get our work back, then we'll have influence and we'll have all the influence. And that's why I say win in chess game. Okay, great job, Stephen.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so yeah, until next time, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Tom, for joining us here. And yeah, we'll be on top of the stuff for next month. So take care of yourself in the meantime. And yeah, to everyone else, you have a good one and we'll speak soon.
Sounds good. Don't wear the horns. See you later.